Got your numbers here from the last 30 days. Total sales for 3 vending machines in 3 high schools, $9,061.45. Nearly 4,700 product sales.
The results definitely exceeded the expectations. The brochures made it really easy. Like, I'm not a salesperson. My background is in engineering.
What you just saw was my client Javetta's first 30 days. But her journey didn't start with 3 high schools and over $9,000 in sales. Like many professionals we work with, she was on the verge of going down the wrong path, buying old vending machines and trying to figure it out all on her own. In this video, you'll learn how Javetta found Vending Accelerator, why the Location Accelerator Blueprint made sense to her as an engineer, and how she turned clarity into results that exceeded every expectation she had. Here's Javetta's story. Enjoy. All right, so I've got Javetta out of Delaware. How did you come across Vending Accelerator?
I was looking for ways to get an additional stream of income. Our kids are in private school, tuition kept going up, and I was like, okay, I find that I'm just cutting things in the household, needs that we have in the household so we can feed their tuition. I need an additional stream of income. My husband knows a friend who has machines, and I started looking on Facebook Marketplace for used machines. Just before I went down the wrong path, I saw one of your ads, Ryan. I signed up for a discovery call, sat down, and had the whole presentation delivered to me, and then had my husband sit down and listen to it another day, and we were on board from there.
Yeah, so your husband, and you mentioned he's an educator, has a friend with some vending machines in a teacher's lounge at an elementary school, which is really interesting considering what we do mostly. They put in older vending machines, so you thought that, hey, that's the route to go, is just go buy some used vending machines, figure out how to get locations.
And get into the locations, just figure it out as we go. That was what I was thinking. And he was telling me, like, those machines are either not stocked or they're broken. Surely we can get in somewhere and resolve that situation, but still know where to start. That's why I was on Marketplace looking for used machines.
And you saw Vending Accelerator pop up and you thought, let's book a call.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me, like, what was different about us that made the decision to invest with Vending Accelerator?
The most important factor for me is that it was a whole blueprint laid out. It was a system in place. My background is an engineer, and I'm a systems engineer, and I understand the power of repeatable processes, systems, teams, and everything like that. And I could see just from the presentation that there was a solid system in place based off of experience. And I understood with like 14 years of experience that you have in the industry. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. So when they told us that they do the calls around to all the schools and all the
location vetting.
Yeah, the location vetting. And they do it within like a 15-mile radius. I was like, okay, oh wow. And he showed me like a sample of the spreadsheet. I was like, oh my goodness, this is very detailed. And the turnaround in 2 weeks. And they were like, okay, while you're doing that, just get your business set up. I was like, I could do that. So I was just like, wow, this really does do a lot of the legwork. I'm thinking that I'm going to have to just cold call people, go in randomly, or I didn't even know where to start. But the upfront, the startup was all really established. I was like, okay, I will pay for someone that's already invested in putting that system together. So that was the deciding factor for me, as well as the new machines, because I never even considered the new machines.
Right.
I thought that we were just going to do, old machines. But then when it was explained to me, like, no, you want something that's state of the art. You want something that's not going to break down and issues. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Everything just made sense.
Yeah, I love that. Engineers love systems. Like you said, repeatable systems that work. And it's funny because we have a number of engineers and I'm not an engineer. I like to call myself a problem solver. You know that our motto here is there's a solution to every problem. As an engineer, I know you love that. I've just been someone who's always, okay, great, but we can do this a little bit better. Okay, there's that issue. Let's come up with a solution that can alleviate that issue in the future. For engineers' mind, it makes a lot of sense. You're absolutely right. We have a blueprint, which is one thing that just blows me away when people come to us, and there's other companies in this space like Healthy You Vending, Naturals to Go Vending, Healthy For You Vending, and they have no blueprint. And it's a lot of pie in the sky salesmanship, and they don't get into any specifics of a foundation, a formula, or a blueprint. And then they come here and they go, wait a second, this is way
right. And that was one of the things that I saw in your ad. You were like, go check it out, do your homework. So I did go and look, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. They want you to invest money up front before you even have a location, where your model was completely different. I'm glad I did see the difference in what other programs are offering relative to Vending Accelerator, because you're not putting all this money up front, investing all this money up front before you even have a location. So that's key.
100%. And that was one reason I did this business the way that I do. I would get comments on my YouTube channel, people who invest in $50,000, $100,000, or $150,000 in these companies like Healthy You Vending or Naturals to Go Vending. 6-9 months, a year later, they have no machines machines in locations, or machines that are sitting in storage and a couple of machines in operation that are doing $200, $300, $400 a month. For me, I'm like, I don't need to make money off of the vending machines because that's not where my value is. I want to help you get into high traffic locations. Buy the vending machines afterwards. We don't need those up front. Don't even lay out the capital. Let's get locations first, and we can start at one at a time or many at a time, which we'll get to. So we have a deep location vetting process where my team, as you know, will find all the high traffic locations, public, private, charter schools, YMCAs, hospitals, medical facilities, business, corporate environments, and more. And we generally keep that within a pretty close radius. We can keep our clients close to home. Sounds like we did 15 miles with you. Yeah. You knew what we set your expectations as. How were the results?
Exceeded the expectations, definitely exceeded the expectations. So the result, we got everything that we were promised. And then I would say even more, because one of the things that I guess I didn't really understand the value of were the weekly clinics. And just having access to expertise every week. And as a question popped up, like we could get our questions answered like real time. So that was something that I was looking at more like the spreadsheets, the marketing material and everything like that. But the clinics have really been like super valuable.
So the location clinics hosted by myself and my head of client success, Mitch, every Wednesday, those are invaluable. Those are on the inside, on the other side of the curtain. So we can give you just high level mentorship, and you get access to me, you get access to Mitch. You and I met one-on-one working on a specific strategy that, surprises a number of folks, is that they get access to me as well. It's one thing being able to know what high traffic locations are in the area, but it's another thing to actually get them to the finish line, which is a signed location agreement. And there's nuances that you're just not aware of yet, or questions that we want to help you answer so that are saying the right thing so we can get it to. So 2 weeks into it, you go through phase one, which helps you set up your business, gives you all the things that you need with your license, permits, all that kind of good stuff. So we walk you through that, and then you have your location launch call. You said that the results exceeded your expectations, plenty of opportunity in the area. At that point, then we execute the next step of our process. What we do is narrow it down. Most clients have way more opportunity, one, than you ever thought you would.
Right.
Sounds like the case there. And then we narrow it down to like a top 15 or 20. At that point, you execute the 6-figure location brochure collection, our proprietary brochure system.
Yeah.
Now I give you what's called the magic phrase, the brochures, right? Your product sample bags. Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell me how that went for you when you first walked into your first locations and went
Folks were like, okay, our decision maker is the principal, and I did get that initial meeting set up. The brochures made it really easy. Like, I'm not a salesperson. My background is in engineering. One thing I realized too, it's not a sales pitch. It's a presentation, because I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm not asking them to pay anything up front. So the brochures, I just printed them out and I just walked around with them. It took a lot of the pressure off, I would say, because again, I'm not a salesperson. I just stepped through the brochures with them. I had a sample bag overflowing with goodies and treats and everything like that. Everything that was provided, all the mentorship and the guidance, I had the spreadsheet where the opportunity was.
Right. Our system creates the interest because we only have you go into locations where we know there's opportunity.
Yes.
Somewhere where there's outdated vending machines, broken down vending machines, poorly serviced, junk food only, or no vending machines. So you're going in there with a higher probability of impressing them because of those issues they're currently dealing with their current vending machine service. In addition to that, even if they have vending machines, regardless of any issues, this is still going to impress them because our programs are better than anyone else's.
Yes. Yeah. I did receive callbacks. I got the meeting set up and we got in touch with the decision maker. I mean, you offered to hop on a Zoom call with me to help me close a deal. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
That's something that's very different from, other models and other teams that I've outside of vending. Remember, I was telling you that I've done these other business ventures and everything like that. And you don't have as much access to the CEO as we do here.
Yeah. When it comes to schools specifically, I love getting on Zoom calls with clients. And that was with not just one location, that was with a school district, correct?
District for 3 locations. Yeah.
So 3 locations, 3 high schools. How many students are each one of those high schools?
950 at one school and about 1,000 at the other 2 schools.
So 3 schools, total of almost 3,000 students. Awesome. And then, so with that said, without our vetting process, without the brochures, without the mentorship, how do you think all of that would have went?
It probably would have took well over a year, and it would have been placed old machine in a teacher's lounge. Nothing at all.
Yeah, so exactly. You would have followed the blueprint that you knew of, which is putting vending machines in teachers' lounges. Got it. So then now you've been operational. Are you making any money?
Yes. Yeah. I'm making revenue. It's performing, again, exactly what you projected based off the foot traffic, the student numbers.
Yeah. School vending machines do very well. The average vending machine in the United States makes $300 to $400 a month. School vending machines tend to do $2,000 $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month per vending machine. Got your numbers here from the last 30 days. Total sales for 3 vending machines in 3 high schools, $9,061.45. Nearly 4,700 product sales.
It's, again, exceeded my expectations. It's what you laid out. We're hitting those numbers based off of the foot traffic in the school. So that's amazing. It's amazing.
Which puts you right about 70, 80 product vends per day, 22 sales days out of the month. Generally here it's about 50% take home. Where is that where you're at? So it puts you about $4,500 take home. Is that about accurate?
Accurate. Yeah.
Got it. How many hours a week you working?
It's about an hour and a half to restock 3 times a week. So that's 3, 4.5 plus inventory, probably about 7 to 8 hours a week.
7 to 8 hours a week, making $4,500 a month. Pretty good gig, yeah?
Absolutely. The business is scalable.
Yep. So that was one thing we talked about prior to the call, was that at 70, 80 sales per day, one of the things that I recommended to you was potentially putting in another machine at each school. Because one, you're in all the high schools, and the district had said, let's start with the high schools. If that goes well, then we'll consider the middle schools. If you're in the middle schools, they generally do just about as well as high schools do. There's how many middle schools?
3 middle schools. So it'll be a total of 6 schools in the district, 3 high schools, 3 middle schools.
That would take you upwards, probably, even if they only did half of what you did there, that's still going to put you well over $12,000, $13,000, maybe $14,000 or $15,000 a month in revenue. 6 vending machine locations, pretty amazing. I think that if you put 3 vending machines, 1 more at each one of those schools, because of your sales, you could also increase your revenue. I think you can take it probably over $11,000, maybe even $12,000 just at those 3 high schools, just by adding an additional machine. Because if you're doing 80 sales in 1 and you do 50 in 2 in increased revenue, and you can reduce your labor.
Absolutely. Definitely, yeah. You want to, like, as we expand the school, definitely want to reduce the visits, right?
Yeah.
Like individual locations. So that would be awesome.
Overall, scale of 1 to 10, 10, extremely happy, glad you did it. 1 being the complete opposite, where you at?
It's off the scale, but I mean, if the highest I can go is 10, I'll definitely say 10. Definitely over-deliver on the expectations.
I'm glad to hear that. When it comes down to it, vending doesn't have to be harder, it just has to be done smarter. I've rewritten the Vending Success Playbook. If you follow the system, use my tools, get inside the location support channels, this will work.
It will. It does.
Yeah.
So people always say it all the time, if I can do it, you can do it. But like, the system is laid out. Like,
yeah.
Insert yourself and follow the process.
That's it. That's really it. Yeah. As an engineer, is there any better way to explain that? Like,
can't think of another way.
Yeah.
Another way, not only following a process, but being around your team of positive leaders. Even when we got our yes and it took some time to get the signed contract, you wouldn't let me get discouraged or anything. Like, remain positive. It's going to happen. This is expected. You even put everything on the brochure. You're like, it's going to happen. That's another aspect as well. Just the positive mindset there.
I'm glad you pointed that, because I remember that now. You had expressed a little discouragement, in which, for good reason, you've never been in the industry before, and I've been in the industry well over a decade. And what did I say to you? Because I know what I said to you, because I say it to everybody. No news is good news out of school.
Yeah.
No news is good news, because believe me, if it was a no, they will email you and tell you that, hey, this is no longer for us. One of the things that I have adopted in my own mindset, because I have mentors myself, one of my things that I've adopted through one of my mentors is speaking things into reality that they're happening right now. Not that they're going to happen, because that's a want, meaning we're without, right? That it's already happened, because our mind, we can trick it to do anything. Just out of curiosity, did I say to you, it's already happened? Like, the signed contract has already happened?
Yep.
It did. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because it was at the beginning of this year is when I started to really start to adopt that. It's like, no, we're speaking it into reality. It's already here. It's already happened. It's signed. And what happened?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, we're operational now.
Beautiful. Talk to me on the machine support. After installation, how is the running and operating the machines? Talk about any hiccups that you had and whether or not we supported you with that.
It's been amazing. So the partnership that you have with the machine manufacturer, as well as your head of operations, Brian, amazing. Every question that we had, because obviously we're new to this business, we don't know how to operate them, don't know how to maintain them. We were supported every step of the way, and we were always able to get in touch with somebody. We never had like a completely down day because we have a machine that needs service. We've been able to respond to anything within that same day. It's been amazing. We have all the training available, documentation, how to set everything up. And then as one-off things happen, we have access to Brian.
Yeah, we did officially change his title. It's head of equipment operations because he's all things equipment and he's just the best with it. I'm glad that he's been a great support channel for you because as a brand new vending machine operator and as a brand new entrepreneur, I was a first-time entrepreneur well over 10 years ago. One of the most difficult and scariest things to be is to feel like you're by yourself.
Yes.
An entrepreneur, because you have no freaking clue what you need to do, you know? And then of course you go to people, family, friends who aren't entrepreneurs who tell you, oh, do this, do that, do that, do that. Who own businesses, right? Or successful ones, right? No, I'm glad that's been an amazing resource. That's what I wanted to bring around me. I've got a team of 40, everywhere from head of client success to head of equipment operations to everything in between. One of the prerequisites to work here is that you like to serve and provide support.
I definitely see that from your team. Like, they want everyone to win. They want everyone to win. And like you said, just not leave anyone feeling like they're alone. And that was one thing when I got the contract, Brian put the purchase orders out there for us. We didn't even have to figure out how to order the machines. He did that. And when he told us that it was going to come ahead of what we expected, he was like, you're good. Don't get nervous. We have everything recorded. You have access to me. You're going to be fine. There was no reason to worry.
You had one of the issues where the machines were coming a little early, where it can be a little nerve-wracking, like, oh no, they're coming. That's one of the things we implemented, Javetta, last year, which was the logistics communication when it comes to ordering the machines, that we actually communicate with you and your location on your behalf so that everybody's expectations, timelines are set, because you've never ordered a brand new vending machine before, you know?
Right, exactly.
And then having access to the training, the modules, Brian, and everything else. You're shortening your learning curve. Believe me, you've avoided countless mistakes, errors, and everything else.
Yep. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
We can't thank you enough, though.
No, you're very welcome. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a partner. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for trusting in Vending Accelerator. Your network is your net worth. And you invested to up that in the vending industry, and you got with the best. All of our clients are just there as well. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Cool. So we can't wait to hear from you when you go into the other middle schools and when you expand further. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to watch you go from here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Welcome.